Hi everyone, this is Sheena from For the Love of Paper, and I have a bunch of ephemera to show you that I've been working on. So if you're looking for some ideas, have some things you're not sure how to use them, I have all different types of ephemera that I will show you, from playing cards, flashcards, to decorating some already created envelopes, creating your own envelopes from big book pages, and just some tags and journal cards, just a bunch of different things. So I'm going to kind of stack them all up and go through them one by one. If I have something from a particular book, I will also share the book with you so you have that to reference as well. And I think I'll probably start with the bigger pieces first, just to show you what I did. So I have two big books. I have a lot of big floral books, but the first one is, let's see, the Macmillan Wildflower book, and it is a rather large book. It's approximately, oh, my mat's upside down. Hold tight. I just had taken it off to record my last video and didn't pay attention to that. All right, there we go. So it is about 11 inches high and 8 inches wide. So it's a pretty big book. And this is the book and where I created these from. When I moved that mat around, dropped all those other things on the floor. So let me just grab them quickly. Okay, I think we're good. Let's hope. All right, please stay. Okay, so I'll just kind of do a little bit to show you here. This book is full of beautiful images. There's some text, but mostly it's these larger full-page images. And this is like a matte paper. It's cream with a matte finish. It's not glossy at all. So, oh my goodness. That must be that. Harry Solomon seal. Wow. I think I got this off of eBay or thrift books or something and didn't realize that. Wow, sometimes you get treasures in these books. So, again, it's a pretty large book. I, of course, was watching somebody else's Etsy shop that was selling books or YouTube videos, and I'm one of those that if you watch a YouTube video and you see a book you want, then you pause the video and go find it. So again, this is the Macmillan Wildflower book. So because it's pretty large pages, I was thinking, what can I do with this? So I essentially took a whole sheet and made it into like a large coin pocket. So you see the two sides are folded in and there's a flap at the bottom. It's open at the top. I did a fold over the top just to make it a little bit more secure. And then I just have tags that can go in them. Obviously that can be decorated and probably will be, but it makes these really cute pouches that are a pretty good size. So this is just shy of 7 and about 3.5 wide. So that's still a pretty big pouch for that tag. And I did keep the pages rustic on the fold. I just like that. Obviously you don't have to do that. So that's a great idea if you have bigger book pages, because the floral image is so big and puts such a great image on your pouches. All right, so there's one. The other one is these envelopes. Again, really big book pages. And this is the book. Now, I think this came to me from the UK. So, I don't know what that says. But I think it might say, maybe in here, if I didn't already get rid of it and using my pages. I thought maybe it would say an English version. Not seeing it. But I will translate it and put it in the description box. That's what I'll do. Because none of this... Italy, printed in Italy. That's what I read. Okay, so again, really big images. And this one is even bigger yet. So this one is almost 12 inches high by 9.5 wide. So that's a really big page. And this one is a cream colored, but does have a gloss to it. And it's a whole image on one side with the text on the back. So with the other one, you kind of have to forfeit some of the one side images because they're double-sided. But this one is all just a one-sided image. So let me set that aside. And then I'll show you, I made, these aren't, I wouldn't say these are fully complete. These are just their bases at this point. So I folded the bottom up, the top down, and you have these like envelopes. I know I'm getting a deco edge trimmer for Christmas from my mother. So I'm thinking that's what I'll use to cut these flaps before I decorate them. I like this torn edge where I tore out the book. I kept that where I could. So I think adding that trim, the deco edge to that flap will be really nice. But what I did is just folded up the bottom and the top down, and then I sewed around to make a pouch. And this is a pretty, it's not like cardstock thick, but it's not copy paper thin. So it's a pretty good piece to not have to fold down. So then the greater part of the image shows there. So that's again all these. I did some straight stitch, some zigzag. Because they are so wide, you don't really forfeit much of the page. Even when you look at it like that, it's not, you can decorate that up and it with some lace or something, and that's a beautiful pocket or envelope. You could do a higher piece and a shorter flap. I kind of just folded the paper based on the floral image where it made the most sense. Just to not have like a big white space on any part of this side of the envelope, if that makes sense. So these turned out great. And I think I got this book and I was like, what can I do with them? Again, watched a video on YouTube and bought the book. And I was like, oh, that's much larger than I thought it was. What am I going to do with that? So I had an idea. I got out of bed and I came and made them. So yeah, I think those are great. So large book page ideas for you. All right. And again, I will translate that book and put it in the description box. All right. The next little piece of ephemera, and I'll zoom in because this is obviously much smaller, are these little playing cards that I altered. And these, although they are, as you can see, like tan, vintage-ish, the back is like a blue floral, which I also think is really pretty. These, sometimes I don't like saying where I get things because then I might go out of stock, but they're from Amazon. They're just a vintage playing card set. And I love that it doesn't have the numbers or the, well, I would say that there are like kings and queens and jacks and stuff like that. But for these ones, it doesn't have the numbers. You just have the number of the actual hearts, clubs, spades, or diamonds. So with these, I have early, whenever I first started junk journaling, because I started more of like collaging and doing like the glue books, and I shared that in a prior video whenever I made Lady and did a lot of collaging her. That's my first handmade journal. There's a video of that. I got a lot of these little booklets. Let me see if I can grab one. They're behind me. And when I say a lot, I mean a lot. Like this whole box, and it's a deep box, is full of them. So if you ever got these and don't know what to do with them, and some are like more sticker, and then there's the ones that are paper and vellum. So a lot of these are from using the ones that are vellum. And I just took pieces and sewed them on. I first glued them down with a little bit of glue stick, and this is the glue stick I use, a Scotch Create glue stick. And I just glued them down just to firm them in the middle, and then I sewed around them, and then I put a little collage on them with, these are Tim Holtz pieces. This is some vellum stickers that I actually fussy cutted a little bit closer. Fussy cut a little closer. This is Tim Holtz with that pink behind it. And then there's another butterfly. So that's a great way to use them if you now have a lot like me and your style shifted a little bit. I think this is awesome, and it's got the grunge component to it. And again, the backs of these are just amazing, and you can see my sewing on there, but it's not as apparent as you would think. All right, so those little pieces. Now this same concept, these are some vintage flashcards that I got at a local antique barn, and I used the same vellum pieces, so you can still see through it and see the addition. Yeah, I don't do math. I don't even know what those are called. Well, anyway, it's not even remotely like coming to me. I want to say fraction, and that's not right. But anyway, the addition thing is back there, so you can still see it. And then some Tim Holtz pieces. And then this is the back side of it. It is a little grungy because, like I said, these are pretty old. And then I put an eyelet in them, and just some fun different texture and strings coming off. And here's another one. I think those are like little peacocks on there, and I put the eyelets in different. Oh my goodness, I was just totally not in frame. I'm sorry. The eyelet is on a different place with that one. I'm standing because I know if I sit then I can't see the camera, and I'll really be out of frame. So here's another one with some Tim Holtz decoration, and the eyelets off to the side, and here's one with the eyelet at the top. Yeah, so I think those are pretty neat pieces. Great way to, again, use these things if you have any and not sure what to do with them anymore, like me. All right, the next thing that I created was some dictionary base tags. So the base is dictionary paper, and it's sewn around, and then I just did a little collage. This is a stamp that I stamped on, like whether it's a bookend page or a little strip off of the white margin of a book page. I just stamped that and then did a little collage and some washi tape. And again, there's some stamped images, numbers. So this is a stamped number, obviously stamped floral pieces. So for the numbers, what I did, and I don't know that I've ever seen anyone do this, but I used my Tim Holtz stamping platform, and I took, whether it's the Tim Holtz Field Notes or whatever, they were the Stampers Anonymous stamp sets though, with the different numbers, and I lined them up on the platform. So I put them all in a line, even lines based on like the height of the numbers, and then I took strips, and let me see if I have any strips of like what I'm referring to. Yes, kind of like this. So I have a lot of these strips from just different things. Again, this is the bottom part of actually one of those floral pieces that books that I cut off. So I put these down on this side of the platform and then stamped, and I got complete rows of numbers that I just literally had to tear off. They were thinner like that, and I stamped them all with that platform, and I changed the colors of the ink as I put more pieces of paper down, more strips down, and I made a whole, I don't know where they are, not sure where they are, but I made a whole pouch full of them because I had so many strips, and by putting those on that Stampers platform, you're literally doing a lot at once versus stamp, stamp, stamp every individual one. So that might be something that you've not used your stamping platform for before, and yeah, fabulous. So again, these are the decorated tags with dictionary, paper as the background, and some of these, I think the first one was not, but the rest are all this back part is, they're dividers you put in a 3-ring binder with this yellow color, and then you have like the clear tab off to the side. So I have a lot of those for no purpose. So like they don't serve anything to me anymore. So what I did was glued the book page down to them, and then went in and cut out the tag shapes and then collaged them. So they have this, I also inked them with Vintage Photo, but they have these solid backs, and it's a great way to use some things that otherwise didn't have a purpose for me, and it allows them to still be thin but stable, if that makes sense, because that material is a little bit thicker than copy paper. So those are some dictionary book page tags. All right, next I have these journal cards, and I started with a piece of cardstock that I had like mopped up things that I was like spraying on or eco dyeing or whatever, and it had this like texture pattern to the background. So I started with that thicker cardstock base and collaged, and then from that collage masterboard I cut into little pieces and made these like little journal cards. They may also be like a sturdier pocket that you can put on a page and then tuck a tag into it, but those will kind of be like decided as they go into whatever journal that's created or how I finish them off. But for this, let me see if I can grab the book that I use for that. My grandparents have some really old books, and they are called the Everyday Reference Library, and then there's a business one and leisure. So There's actually 3, and I do have all 3 separate than these 2 that I found on eBay for 99 cents, all 3 of them. But these I got from my grandparents. So for the business one, I'll just kind of show you. And this is a rather big book too. It's 10 inches by 7 inches. But look at the goodness inside of here. I'll zoom out for you. Isn't that great for collage? And I'm guessing it's just an everyday reference library for anything business related. Look at that shorthand. So this is what I pulled from for some of the collage. And then the other one, that is the leisure one, has these inside of it. And they have it, let's see where they start at. And again, this is just like talking about etiquette, parties, some very random things. But what's that? Oh, wrestling. You need to know that in your everyday. Yes, here they start. These are like microscopic plant things, and then you go on to this whole page of starts like the nature study. And isn't this fantastic with these little things? So that's where I pulled these from. So it starts kind of like sea stuff, ocean related things, and then it switches to like lizards, then butterflies, insects. Was there mushrooms there? Mushrooms. Yeah. Fish, frogs, all different kinds of things. Birds. Then it goes into flowers. And then other stuff back there. But I love these. So that's what I used for these little pieces here. And I'm going to zoom back in. Okay. So that's the collage masterboard back there then. And then I took those little pieces and I put them onto some coffee dye paper. I just glued them down in the center, and then I sewed around it just to make that piece a little bit thicker. And then I'm worried that that is not, there we go, sorry about that. I took different pieces of textured stuff. There's some string behind there, and I have this like, it's an upholstery book, like fabric book, but it also has these really crazy pieces of like netted pieces. So I cut that out. So there's one. This one was just the fabric piece behind it. Here's another one that's more like a textured piece. This is a little longer, and I'm not sure that this is like how this will remain. I might have to cut it off here. But if I have a wider journal, then it could be a vertical. Yes. No. Horizontal. I'm a crafter guy. Like a belly band this way. And then this is one of those bird images. And another flower with some of those like fabric pieces from that awesome book that I got off of eBay. Here's another one. So that's like, again, a net type thing with different texture to it. And there's another one. So I think they turned out great. And I see them going on a page. Do I have anything that resembles a page near me? No. But, like say if you just glued this corner here, these two sides, you would have this side tuck. Or these two sides here, you would have this side tuck. So there's a lot of ways that these can be used. And those are, I just love those pieces. Okay. another thing is I have these really massive stickers. Again, what to do with. So I made these pretty big size journal cards. They are about 6.5 by 4.5, and they have plenty of, oh no, my phone is dying. Eek. Okay, well, we're still counting. It just looks blurry, so I'm hoping it does not look blurry to you, because that low battery button is altering it. So collaged large sticker sewn around the edges, and I also put some stamping in the background. So that was a great use of these really jumbo size stickers. Okay, now next is just my bags, and these are some little sacks that I did for these birds, same book, but I put them inside of acetate and then sewed around them while they were inside the acetate, and then put them on this vellum piece and just decorated each one of these with some crochet ribbon, bow, just simple, that they can then be used inside of a journal. And then lastly, I have made, this is a oh my goodness, a snippet roll. These are long snippet rolls. So I cut the snippet roll down into pieces and glued them on here. I did sew on them, and they're like little pockets that you then can glue this on a page and then also have double pockets. So these are just some fun decorated bags if you want an idea to use your snippet roll. And then lastly, I have these two writing boards. Again, I put some of the floral bird images on it from the book and some vellum stickers, and made these writing boards, and they have coffee dye paper on the back. So that's it, guys. I hope you like this. Give you some ideas, and maybe some things, give you a little tips that you hadn't considered before. And I will share more as I create more. Have a great night. Bye.